Hi guys! So today I'm going to be talking about video games. Yes, it's been a while since I've last done a video game related video. It's been quite a while indeed. So I sometimes do every now and then. A few years back I did do odd reviews, and I thought since I'm a big fan of this particular franchise, I could do like a ranking video. So yes, today I'm going to be ranking all 11 Assassin's Creed games because I'm a big fan of the Assassin's Creed franchise. I like most of them, and obviously with the next one rumored to be getting announced in the next few weeks, apparently a Viking game or Assassin's Creed Ragnarok apparently, should be interesting. But for now, I'm going to rank all 11 main games, and this was tough. I've just done the list now, and this was tough because I like them all, to be honest. Like even my last one, I still thought there were still things that I liked in it, but to get from 11th to first was pretty tough. So I'm going to be ranking all games based on in gameplay, open world, the fun factor, the characters, the main assassin themselves, based on how much fun I had with each game. So yeah. So yeah guys, I hope you enjoy. Obviously this is just my list of the Assassin's Creed games. So obviously it won't be the same as yours. So I'm going to start with my game in last position, and I'm going to go all the way up to the top. So at number 11, we have Assassin's Creed Unity. Yes, probably my least favourite Assassin's Creed game. It's just not great memories of it, to be honest, when it came out in 2014, 6 years ago, blimey, but just not really good memories of it, because I remember when it first came out, it was an absolute mess at launch. There were so many bugs, so many glitches, it crashed a lot. All those awful character models, like remember that infamous shot with just the eyeballs and the weird jaw. It was like, ugh. The game looked a mess. Apparently Ubisoft, it just wasn't ready to be launched. But Ubisoft just launched it out, to get that money, dickheads. But it just wasn't a very good game. Even once all the bugs had been patched, it just wasn't that fun to play. It was slow. The story wasn't particularly interesting. I liked Arno. I really liked Arno, the main character, the assassin. He was great, but he was just stuck in a crap game and in a crap story. I just wasn't a fan of it. And honestly, the console struggled to run it because it was such a big leap. Because obviously it was the first next gen Assassin's Creed. And yeah, the graphics were really impressive. Obviously, the city of Paris was really beautiful, but the console struggled to run it. I remember my console playing it, like, really puffing away. And obviously, the frame rate at times did drop a lot, because it was so adventurous and so bold. The console struggled to run it. And yeah, I never finished it. I got about halfway through the main story and I thought, done. Nah, I can't finish it. I just do not like this game. It's the only Assassin's Creed game I've never finished. And I might eventually one day go back and finish it because it's really cheap. It's really cheap now, isn't it? I've heard it has been heavily patched now, but I might go back and finish the story. But I just couldn't finish it. So that's why it is number 11 on my list. And according to me, Assassin's Creed Unity is the worst Assassin's Creed game, and it's a shame because it had a lot of potential. I feel, but whatever. I feel like obviously all the next gen Assassin's Creed games that came after it have all done much better. So yeah. Then at number 10, I have, this is going to be a bit controversial, but it's my opinion. Number 10, I have Assassin's Creed 1. Yes, the original Assassin's Creed. Yes, all the way back. The game which more or less kickstarted the Assassin's Creed franchise. And yeah, it's second to last because it just doesn't hold up now, sadly. As much as it does hold a fond memory in everyone's heart. The game that kicked everything off, playing with Altair in Egypt. Going just very basic story about just you assassinating all these different targets because he gets kicked out of the Assassin's Creed Order for failing a mission. And basically, he rises up against this Grandmaster to get revenge and all that. It was an okay-ish story, but very basic. There were literally no side missions. It got very boring very quickly, and I feel like, yeah, it was fine. It started off the fundamentals of Assassin's Creed, but then obviously when Assassin's Creed 2 came out, it was heads and shoulders better, and it did a lot of things better, and that's when it really became a good franchise. But yeah, it just doesn't hold up nowadays. It's very boring. Altair was quite a boring protagonist, to say the least, sadly. And I just didn't particularly enjoy it that much. I did finish it, but yeah, it just doesn't quite hold up nowadays. I think, yeah, every other game, apart from Unity, was way better. But still, we have to be thankful for Assassin's Creed 1, because without Assassin's Creed 1, Assassin's Creed never would have happened. It's the game which kickstarted the whole franchise, so we do have to have it to thank for that. So, fair enough, but yeah, it's second to last on my list. Then at number 9, we have Assassin's Creed Revelations. Yes, this was a bit tricky, because I love the Ezio trilogy. the Ezio trilogy is fantastic, but Revelations is probably the weakest, is easily the weakest game in the Ezio trilogy. Obviously, Ezio's final game, set in Constantinople. Ezio's like an old man now, and he's basically trying to find out the secrets of Assassin's Creed Order. And obviously, we do get flashback sections where you play as Altair, and it fleshes out his character more, which really was really interesting. And also Desmond, the one they with Desmond in like the modern day, with like he's trapped in like an animus prison. I thought that was interesting, but yeah, it just doesn't quite hold. I think it was easily the weakest though. I think the story wasn't the best. I thought Constantinople was kind of a boring city. And I just thought we could have got a stronger story to send off Ezio, to be honest. But he did have like a good final moment when he's talking to Desmond, like Desmond, like that. That was interesting. So, but yeah, it was a okay conclusion to what probably was the best character in the Assassin's Creed franchise. But yeah, looking back on it now, it easily is the weakest of the Ezio trilogy. And the fort battles too. My God, remember those fort battles? They were terrible. They were terrible. And then at number 8, we have Assassin's Creed Rogue. Yes, this game would probably be a little bit higher if it just had a longer story, to be honest. But Assassin's Creed Rogue, I loved it. It was more of a spin-off than an actual big Assassin's Creed game. It was much shorter. And obviously this was this came out the same year of Unity, but obviously this was just 360 and PS3, while Unity was PS4 and Xbox One. And yeah, I like Rogue. I thought it was a very different story. Basically, you play. You play start off as an assassin, but then he eventually joins the Templar Order, Shay Patrick Cormac, and you have the ship on the oceans, and you're basically attacking all the assassins, and you help Haytham building up the Templar Order. It's kind of like a prequel to Assassin's Creed 3, which I thought it was really well done. I actually really enjoyed Assassin's Creed Rogue. I thought it told a compelling story. I thought the ship combat was fun, just like Assassin's Creed Black Flag. I liked Patrick Cormac. He was an interesting character. I love the little tie-ins because it was perfect. There were characters from Black Flag, there were characters from Assassin's Creed 3 all coming in. It was like the perfect in-between game. And then the ending of it does kind of set up Assassin's Creed Unity, but who cares about that? But on the whole, I thought it was a very solid game. I just wish it was a bit longer. You could beat the whole main story in like less than 10 hours. It's not a very long story. I think it was like, 5 or 6 sequences. So for that reason, yeah, it is a bit lower on this list, but I still did very much enjoy Assassin's Creed Rogue, yeah. Number 7, we have Assassin's Creed 3. Yes, obviously the first Assassin's Creed set after the Ezio trilogy, where we went to America and we played as Connor. Yes, the Native American. And basically this is about like the revolution, the American Revolution. They were fighting back against the British, who were trying to occupy America at the time. And I thought Assassin's Creed 3 was a good game. It was a big change to Assassin's Creed franchise. After 3 games of Ezio, we would move to America and we play as Connor Kenway. Obviously, we start off the game playing as Haytham, but I enjoyed it. I think it got a lot of down with Assassin's Creed 3, but I thought it was fun. I thought the combat was fun. The open world was a massive open world. Connor wasn't the most interesting character. He was pretty bland, but I did enjoy his story about basically fighting back against the Templars, creating the American Assassin's Creed Order. I love the Native American spin on it. I thought there were some good characters in Haytham, obviously who you play as in the beginning of the game. Haytham, I really liked Haytham. I really liked Assassin's Creed 3. Obviously, it was the first game to introduce ship combat as well, when we all know where that spread into Black Flag. So we do have it to thank for that. And I think I feel like Connor gets a lot of bad votes. And I would have liked to have seen a sequel where you play as Connor, but we never did, sadly. But I did like Assassin's Creed 3. I think it still holds up, and obviously I enjoyed it. It's not higher up on this list though, because I feel like the other games do outrank it, but I still think it's a very solid Assassin's Creed game, which is very underrated and gets a lot of hate, which I don't understand, but I like Assassin's Creed 3. It's a thumbs up for me, definitely. And then at number 6, we have Assassin's Creed Syndicate. Yes, Assassin's Creed game, which I was very excited for. Obviously, this was the sequel, or the next game after Unity, so we all needed something good. And it was set in Victorian London. Assassin's Creed in Victorian London. I was like, oh my God, that sounds amazing. You play as 2 different protagonists, the Fry twins, Jacob and Evie, and you got to liberate London from the Templars. I thought it was great. I bought the expanded edition. I've got a Jacob statue in my bedroom. I bought a big fancy edition from it. And yeah, it was a big step up from Unity. It had a much better story, much better protagonist, way less glitches. You could play it for one, way less glitches. I loved the city of London, just like the roaming around the city of London was amazing. The trains, it was just so well done. My only down point of Syndicate, I thought the gameplay did get a bit repetitive after a while. The combat did get a bit repetitive after a while, and there were a lot of samey kind of missions, a lot of the same looking thugs. And the story was a bit short. I do admit it was which was a bit disappointing. But we do at least get very cool DLC. Obviously with I think it was Jack the Ripper DLC, which was really cool. Where you play like an older Evie, taking him down. I thought it was a very solid Assassin's Creed game, and I think I really like it, to be honest. It's right in the midway point. It's not one of the better Assassin's Creed game, but it's definitely not one of the worst. It's like a very solid Assassin's Creed game, Syndicate, and it was a big step up in the right direction after Unity. Yes, definitely. And then at number 5, I have Assassin's Creed Brotherhood. Yes, the second game with Ezio, where you liberate Rome from the Templars. I really liked Assassin's Creed Brotherhood. It was great. I loved it. Just a great story of just how you liberate Rome. You build up the Assassin's Creed Order in Rome to take on the Templars, take on the Borgias, and it was great. It developed Ezio as a character. You see more of him, like just becoming a much like master assassin. I really liked it, and obviously his like main Ezio's like main feud with Cesare Borgia. That was like a great feud. I just thought it was a really good game. I really liked Assassin's Creed Brotherhood. Well, it would be a little bit higher on my list because I know people rank Brotherhood as one of the best, but I just think it's not quite as good as my first 4. But Brotherhood still is really good, and yeah, it's one of my top 5 Assassin's Creed games. Definitely, I love Brotherhood. Yeah. And then on to number 4, we have Assassin's Creed Origins. Oh yes, the first massive open world Assassin's Creed game. So yes, you play in back at the old Assassin's Creed 2, where you're playing as ancient Egypt. Obviously, this was after like a 2-year break after Assassin's Creed Syndicate, and we got this massive game, Assassin's Creed Origins. So yeah, you play as Bayek. And this game is all about like you just going up and getting revenge for your sons and family's killers. Basically, I thought Bayek was a really cool character. It is massive, like the massive open world of ancient Egypt. It's huge. There's pyramids, there's cities, there's open deserts, there's forests. It's absolutely massive. There's like so many quests to do. It was huge. It was huge. A lot of grinding, which just get continued in the Assassin's Creed game, but a lot of grinding, like lots of different bits of side missions. But I thought it was great. I thought the story was fantastic. Very good, open, very long story. I thought Bayek, like I said, was an amazing character. Of course, this was the game which kickstarts, the Assassin's Creed Order and the Templar Order. This is the game which more or less forms it, because Bayek is the assassin who forms the Assassin's Creed Order, as we see at the end of the campaign. It's great. And I thought the DLC was good too, with like the Tomb of the Pharaohs and the First Blade and all that. Well, that's Odyssey. But yeah, I thought Origins was great, and obviously I just loved how it kickstarts the story between the Assassins and the Templars all the way back in ancient Egypt. Fantastic story. And yeah, it was just such a massive change in Assassin's Creed. I loved it. Assassin's Creed Origins was fantastic. Really liked it. Then at number 3, I have Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Yes, so basically a game which was even older than Origins, set in ancient Greece. And yeah, so this took everything Origins did and made it even bigger, made it even better. So we got an even bigger story, way much bigger quest. It introduced like a little dialogue wheel, like different choices. It felt like a proper RPG, Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Obviously, you can play as either Alexios or Cassandra. I played as Cassandra. I think she's way better, but Cassandra was great. This game is gigantic. Like Assassin's Creed Odyssey is one of the biggest games ever. It's effing massive. Like the world of Greece is gigantic. Like there's so many cities, there's like just so many different islands you can explore. Like, it took me about 100 hours to explore the entire map, do all these different missions. Like there's so much to do. It's huge, absolutely gigantic. Like the main story takes you about 30 to 40 hours to complete, takes you all the way across the world. There is a lot of grinding though, like I said, just like in Assassin's Creed Origins, like you have to like level up to do certain missions. You have to like level 30 to do this mission, so you have to like do lots of different side quests to rank up. So there is a lot of grinding, but it is great. I loved the combat. It was just massive. I loved Cassandra. So I think she's one of the best characters up there. She's one of the top 3 assassins. I loved Cassandra. Obviously, this is way before the Assassin's Creed Order was even formed, but I loved how you fight like the Order of Ancients. Like you've got to take them all out. Like the cult of Cosmos, you've got to take them all down one by one. Like it's like a massive tree of evil across Greece, which you've got to cut down. Sparta and Athens at the time, I think it was beautiful. I loved the characters. I loved the graphics. Like even the side quests felt massive. It was just so big. And I loved it. I think people hate Odyssey because it was so grindy, it was so boring, and I do get that. But it's massive, and you get so many missions, and obviously not to mention the DLC. Like the DLC was massive, like the Face of Atlantis, where you get like 3 massive different expansion packs where you can throw around Elysium. You get sent to the underworld and fight Hades. That was amazing. And you go to Atlantis. It was just so much game. So much game. I was exhausted when I finished it. Like I put well over 100 hours in Odyssey. Oh man. And if the next Assassin's Creed game is anything like it, like Assassin's Creed Ragnarok, oh my god, I'm not ready. Because I still haven't recovered from Assassin's Creed Odyssey. It was gigantic, but I loved it. Fantastic. Loved it. Then on to my final 2 Assassin's Creed games. Now this was tough because I like both of these, and this was like really tough to rank my my favourite 2 Assassin's Creed games. So number 2, this was tough, but I'm gonna go number 2. We have Assassin's Creed 2. Yes, Ezio's first game, and yeah, Assassin's Creed 2. Even though it came out over 10 years ago now, it still holds up, and it was just so amazing at the time. Because don't forget how the Assassin's Creed 1 was just meh, but then Assassin's Creed 2, and it improved everything. Better story, better assassin character, a much better open world, like the story of Venice, the combat, the graphics, exploration. It's just amazing, and still to this day, even though it's so old now, you can tell when you play it, it's dated now, but Assassin's Creed 2 is still amazing. Just the story of Ezio, how he came to be an assassin, like just this amazing story about him getting revenge against him avenging the death of his family and becoming an assassin. It was great. I loved Assassin's Creed 2. Still to this day, it's my second favourite Assassin's Creed game. Yeah, and Ezio was just, it was easily Ezio, and Ezio was one of the best Assassin's Creed protagonists ever. I loved Ezio, and this was like his best game. Then obviously Brotherhood was really good too. But yeah, Assassin's Creed 2, still to this day, nearly 10 years on, it's still an amazing game. Fantastic. Then on at number 1, I think you all know what it is. Yes, at number 1 we have Assassin's Creed Black Flag. Yes, I love the soundtrack, but yeah, Assassin's Creed Black Flag is my favourite Assassin's Creed game. I loved Black Flag. Oh my god, it's just great. You play as Edward Kenway, Connor's granddad, set before Assassin's Creed 3, and for most of the game you play as a pirate. You're just a pirate fighting off against evil, liberating the Bahamas. The map was gigantic. Obviously, you have your ship, the Jackdaw. It's basically a game which took the naval combat sections of Assassin's Creed 3 and made it into a full-length game. There's like a massive open world. You can explore all these different islands which you sail on as your ship. The ship combat was amazing. Like, you can tackle the ships, board them, loot their plunder. You can recruit the captains. It was just amazing. I loved Edward Kenway. Edward Kenway is one of my, like I said, one of my favourite Assassin's Creed protagonists. I love Edward Kenway. He's such a likeable dick. I loved him. He's so charismatic. He's so funny. And basically, it's his journey about how he slowly becomes a good man, because he's a dick for the first half of the campaign, but then second half of the campaign, he meets the assassins and he starts to become an assassin, basically. He starts to become a good guy. So, and he joins Assassin's Creed Brotherhood towards the end of the campaign. And I loved it. Like the Jackdaw, Adewale, your first mate, was great. I thought Blackbeard was really cool. I thought it had some really cool missions. I love the soundtrack. It's probably one of my favourite Assassin's Creed soundtracks. It's just fantastic. I love Black Flag. And the funny thing is, it's not even really an Assassin's Creed game. It's just a game. It was called Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag, but it shouldn't really be called. It should just be called Black Flag, because it's not an Assassin's Creed game. The vast majority of the game is not about the Assassins or the Templars. It's just you, Edward, as a pirate, going around doing what you want, collecting the loot and being a dick. The Assassins only come into the second half of the campaign, but I loved Assassin's Creed Black Flag, and still to this day it holds up, because it came out on Xbox One as well, and the Xbox One, it looks great. And yeah, I loved Edward Kenway. I thought he was such a good protagonist. And it sucked we only got one game with him. I would have loved to have got a sequel to Black Flag and played again as Edward, but I loved Edward. I loved Black Flag, and Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag is my favourite Assassin's Creed game. I love it. It's fantastic, and it still holds up to this day, even though it came out 6 years ago now. So yeah, yeah, guys, what did you guys think of my list? Obviously, what's your top 11 Assassin's Creed games? Comment below, let me know. So yeah, of course, guys, like, comment, subscribe. Are you guys looking forward to the next Assassin's Creed game, which is rumoured to be a Viking game set like called Ragnarok or something? Comment below, let me know. So thank you for watching, guys, and yes, I'll see you all very soon. Bye.